how many bands have you been in, and what is the earliest, dumbest band name that like a high school?
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Assault Shaker would be the first one.
Assault Shaker rules. Welcome back to Show Me Yours podcast, everybody.
I'm Jackie Agnew.
I'm Jonny DeVito.
And I'm Ty Bossino.
Goddamn right you are.
Johnny, who we got in studio today?
That's a great question, Ty. I'm glad you asked. We have singer, songwriter, vocalist, guitar player, multi-talented motherfucker in the building. The head, the face of Dead End Driving, and now Buyer's Remorse. Very exciting. Please give it up for Matt Earle, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey,
thanks
let's
for
go.
having
Hell yeah, dude. Welcome to the show.
I'm glad you got the second band in there too, the new band. Too.
It's important.
I was getting ready to correct you and be like, and Buyer's Remorse. You've done your homework. I appreciate
No.
it.
Dane Becker is a
Very
fan of the
professional.
show, friend of the pod, friend of me. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to leave him hanging on that. Like, I've left him hung out to dry on the past few episodes. Fans of the podcast, there's a trend here where I've been going out with Dane, getting drunk the night before recording, and it sounds like I've been throwing Dane under the bus a little bit on a couple episodes, which is not my intention. So I'm going to say right now, I'm going to clear the air. Dane Becker is not a bad influence on Jonny DeVito.
Jonny DeVito.
Yeah,
It's
Jonny
a
DeVito
bad
is a
influence.
bad influence. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I saw him at a show on Wednesday, and to prepare for this podcast, I listened to his episode.
Hell yeah.
Oh, nice.
So I ran into him and I was like, I feel like I've been hanging out with you all day already. Man. You know, when you're listening to a podcast and you're like, maybe a friend's on, you're like,
Hell
I
yeah.
feel like I've been hanging out with them.
Yeah.
I want to go home. This is exhausting.
Yeah.
Well, now we're going to talk about Dead End Driving dildos and
I was
stuff
gonna
like that.
say,
we
yeah,
can
we have our
personalize
first
some merch
topic
for you.
already. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Are you fond of the sex toy industry, and where do you lie? Where would your favorite be in the gamut? You know what I mean? Of now, it spans so far, right? So where do you like to lie when you walk into the store?
It's been a minute.
Wait a minute. Okay.
I mean, I guess I just look at the videos, the fun videos. Right?
Nice.
I mean, those aren't
nice.
toys, I guess, but
I'm hearing a
you
lot
know,
of.
there's just you go on the red tubes and the spank banks
Sure.
and the all those things, and I think the algorithm starts to cater to you. So when you're
Oh, it absolutely
perusing the
does.
aisles, you kind of see things that you're like,
Sure.
never even heard it, never heard of that one.
The algorithm back in the day of a movie store was really up to the clerk.
Yeah.
Whatever the
I
clerk
got
was.
an algorithm
Staff's
for
picks,
you.
Yeah. If the clerk wasn't into fucking step siblings, you were not seeing any of that.
There's something about the back room, you know what I mean, at the video store. when
Oh,
you
like
were a
at the
kid,
Rogers
right?
when they used to have
Oh,
them.
yeah, the curtain.
Yeah, man. When you could go back there, like I really think that, whoever was curating that, like if it was like a mom and pop kind of store or something like that.
Clearly
you know what I
pop.
mean? Yeah, exactly.
I think that's
That's
also-
all pop.
That's in Pop's purview. For sure. Yeah.
Mom runs the front of house, Pop runs the back of the house, right? But like smut used to be like now I think it's a little bit more like acceptable and stuff, which is fine. But I'm plumbing one day and I get a call to go to the Fantasy Factory, is a store out in
Yes.
in New West, and they needed a sink back there to wash hands and dicks or whatever. So I'm back there and I'm helping him out and I'm doing the thing and I'm talking to this guy, and he's not just like a proprietor of a sex toy store. He's actually like family. You know what I mean?
He's third generation.
Third generation
generation,
smut peddler,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so his dad started like the first sex shop on Hastings back in the day when
wow.
hat low down. You really had to kind of go in there. And since he's taken over, he said that he's struggling with his dad because his dad's like, no, that's the heart of this business. Like it has to.
It's a real Vince
Heart of
McMahon
this
situation he's got going on here.
Exactly. So he's like,
man.
no, we got to turn this into a more boutique
We're
thing.
trying
Like
to take over
white
other
walls, make it
territories.
look cleaner. You know what I mean? Like this whole thing,
like
right?
The
So
dispensary kind of.
yeah.
vibes,
You know what I mean? Like when you walk into like a sex shop and the guy's wearing like a leather apron and
Yeah.
you know what I mean, right? Like a real
Yeah,
hipster vibe.
I don't
or
want
something.
that. I want to
Well,
get
the more
mask.
the more vanilla kind of guys, you feel like I don't belong here.
Totally.
Why'd I
Yeah.
come in here?
Exactly, right? I mean, there's like the advancement, I think, in in anything. I think you could talk about, from the sex toy industry to even like let's say skateboarding or something, right? Like everything is on a constant evolution and moving forward. And that's a good way to get into your music, girl. So,
Great
where
segue.
Quite the transition over
Yeah,
here.
exactly. I'm sorry.
He's a
Sometimes
professional.
we're getting into it a little bit, But I'm a fan of both of your bands. I haven't had the opportunity to see you as much as I would have liked to, say, before COVID, when Dead End Driving was kind of playing a lot more. And now that we're busy as well with comedy, the past couple Buyers Remorse shows I haven't had a chance to make it out to, because you know what I mean. I'm a whore, and I will do anything I
Apology
can
accepted.
to make $15 for a 5-minute set. That's we're chasing the thing. So break down the history with music a little bit for me. Where did when did you start playing, and how did songwriting
history
and
of
whatnot
music
come into it? Your history.
Wow, we got to go way back. My history with music.
It was a dark and stormy day.
I got a bass as my original instrument, and I got one of those. Well, I took piano lessons when I was like 8 and never took it very seriously. But yeah, I started getting into stuff like Sum 41 and Blink-182 when I was like 11 or 12 years old, and ended up getting a bass for my 12th birthday. And so that was my original instrument, and all the way through high school and all my high school bands, I was a bass player. And then I kind of just wanted to start being more of a songwriter, and bass just wasn't super conducive to that. So I just I had been picking up guitar along the way anyway, so I just finally just got a guitar, and I was like, hey, I play guitar. If you want me in your band, I'm playing guitar. And I'm singing, too. And I was a pretty bad singer to start. But, you practice and you get better.
Definitely. This has been going on for a long time. How many bands have you been in, and what is the earliest, dumbest band name that a high school?
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Assault Shaker would be the first one.
Assault Shaker
Oh,
rules.
that's so good.
That'd be the first one I actually
pretty
played
good.
shows with and stuff.
Hell yeah.
In like 10th
What kind
grade.
of music are we talking here?
Oh, I don't want to say. We were into the Chili Stadium Arcadium. I'd come out and
Sure.
stuff. We were,
Okay.
and I was,
Hey.
a bass player, so I was getting into slapping, learning how to slap, and I was like, whoa, I'm amazing. And then I got a little older and realized, if you slap now in front of people just go, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I think there's something about either you have to you have to nipple ride and do it in a more funky way, or else that strap has to be all the way below your knees in a corn.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, I didn't. I was definitely more of a nipple rider for sure.
Well, whose
Nice.
rule is that? It's always below the dick or above the dick.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
that's the rule.
You can't be hanging out at
Nah,
the torso.
you don't want
no,
mid.
no.
Oh no,
Either
guitar!
real
I cover
low-
my dick. I play with my dick out, and everyone's none the wiser.
That's
No one's
right.
had any
Yeah.
idea. That's fucking awesome, man. So then, Dead End Driving. I've seen you guys. I think at the Cobalt with Anthems, and there's a moment here. There's so
Well, that
many
was a
good
while ago.
bands. Oh yeah. But it was an important show to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was kind of sitting there because when I was moving to the city, I was going to a lot of shows alone and just kind of making friends and doing this whole thing. And I'm not going to say that the scene is necessarily I don't know, divided isn't a good term for it, but if you want to go to a hardcore show, there's places for that. If you want to go to more pop punk or skate punk kind of vibe, there's something for that. And are you familiar with the term orgcore?
Yeah, I'm very familiar with it.
Okay.
Of course.
I'm a org to the core. Shout
Not
out
quite an
Dave.
ogre, not quite an orc.
Exactly, right? You're in the middle a little bit, and there's something about that kind of. Could you break it down for me? You know what I mean? Because it's a Spotify playlist.
You have to wear plaid. You have to have a beard. You have to wear a toque in the winter, and sometimes in the summer too, even if it's painful. It's just it's usually kind of more mid-tempo beats. Rarely does it have the skate punk beat.
Yeah.
And that's the one rule for Dead End Driving is no skate punk beats.
Interesting.
There's enough of that in town.
Yeah.
What are we going to bring to the table? It's fine. Let everyone else take care of that one.
Yeah.
You're
We're
talking
good.
about
We're doing the mid-tempo stuff.
That is my
Nice.
heartbeat. I think that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta get that checked.
I was going to say, we got to get that looked at. Yeah.
Yeah. Gruff vocals. I don't know. What does it mean to you?
It means that I have no idea, right? Because I think it's just something funny to say or whatever. But the more that I kind of talk to, I'm gonna say like-minded dorks or whatever, right? And we all do seem to have beards. We all, you know what I mean. If there's a breeze coming through, then I might have a flannel on.
Yeah,
you know what I
gotta
mean?
have the flannel. Bands.
Yes, definitely. But when they look me up and down and go, yes, Hot Water Music, Dillinger 4, Lawrence Arms or whatever.
Sure.
I'm like,
Yep,
okay,
there you go.
you're just gonna name my 3 favorite bands and put me into a subcategory of already a very niche, kind of subculture or whatever,
Yeah.
where it seems kind of weird, but I'm accepting it and I'm embracing it because I find that there's a lot of those maybe a lot of like that style songwriting and the shit that they're talking about is a little bit like deeper, I think. Maybe like a little bit more like
I think so, yeah.
you know, introspective or whatever. Like they're not afraid to like to write about some heavier stuff, right? And that's definitely
sure.
you know, there's a ton of bands out there that don't necessarily shy away from it, but I like the way that these particular guys do it. I don't know. There's a flair there about it that is not really that's not flashy, and it's I don't know. It just works for me, right? But like to be, you know, to already break down a subculture into you know, even smaller bits. Like do you have a favorite subgenre that maybe would be guilty pleasure considered?
In punk?
Sure, anything.
A guilty pleasure.
Yeah, it's hard.
I don't feel guilty about anything, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Or should you?
No, nothing I'm feel guilty about. Hell, man, I fucking rock the Tay-Tay all day, too. Like,
Yeah.
shit.
Ooh,
Hell
nice.
yeah.
There we go.
Oh, yeah. A singer in a local punk band, I won't name them, but their band's called the High Sides, and he made a post. He made a post just like saying, "Can someone explain to me like the fucking?" He's a buddy of mine. He'll
Yeah.
yeah. He's like, "Can someone explain to me like the whole hype about Taylor Swift? I don't fucking get it." And I was just like, "Dude, first of all, you're not the demographic, but second of all, like." She rules and hate is gonna hate. And he's like, I'm not hating. But I was just like, dude, as far as like pop music goes and like all the chart toppers, like she's one of the most substantive and like I think, you know,
She's playing guitar. She's writing songs.
yeah, I
She's
think she keeps
it's
it
hard
fucking
to
real,
detect.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's been doing the damn thing for a fucking minute now. Like people
Yeah.
forget
Yeah.
that too. They're like,
I remember
all
Not to
these
mention-
people that are like that famous now. I'm like, yeah, they were
Yeah.
famous when we were kids.
And
So,
that
Totally.
Yeah.
$1 billion tour she's been doing, she's paying her staff like
Yeah.
Exactly.
a motherfucker.
Yeah.
yeah, she's
And-
doing G shit for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
and
was-
she's like kind of alienated like a lot of her red state audience by like, you know, being outspoken about her support for gay marriage and stuff like that. And,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious because when all of like that Lizzo shit came out, her Taylor Swift's team like conveniently leaked that how well she's been paying like all for her like, but which is fucking awesome.
I like
though,
when you
think
start
that-
seeing
yeah.
those juggernauts though, and it's like suddenly Beyonce comes in. She's like, you know, I paid my people.
Yeah.
Money and like,
Yeah.
love it.
And
Yeah.
Keanu's just going, hold my beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, for real.
I wonder if there's like actual like underground like if there's a like a very high connected like group of homeless people like in John Wick that just kind of take care of Keanu. Like I feel like in the back of my mind, like, you know, he could be like in danger or something, and all of a sudden somebody's just gonna like run out and, you know, save him from being hit by a car or something.
That's
like
why
that.
he can ride the
Yeah.
subway, right?
Exactly, right? Like
Yeah.
homeless people aren't necessarily homeless. They're just out there in the case that they might have to save Keanu Reeves.
I like that. I like that theory. Yeah.
It's interesting.
They're just
Definitely.
on the job.
100%.
That's like my
Always
clothes
on
are
the
dirty
job.
because I've been at this for a week now.
Exactly.
I haven't
Keanu-
had time to take a break.
Keanu might come by.
He's very busy.
One of my favorite stories of a friend telling me they ran into a celebrity was just my friend back in high school, and he said he was in Pacific Center and he just saw Keanu Reeves walking by. And he just went, "Whoa, Keanu Reeves!" And he just puts his hands like this and goes, "What's up? What's up?" And then
Oh, that's perfect.
There's
you don't even want to talk to him after
That's
that.
awesome.
You're like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
that's-
No, you don't go
that made
anywhere.
my week.
Exactly.
Totally.
Yeah.
The guy just gets better and better. I feel like I'm not really looking around in like the world. I feel like I've probably walked by like, you know what I mean? Celebrities are. I've never had a moment of being like, holy shit, that guy's right there. You know what I mean? Unless it's like a musician you respect and you're at a show.
I was gonna
or
say, like,
something
you'll be
that.
like, you'll see a guy across in Funkies and be like, hey, did you open for the Dreadnoughts in 96?
Yeah.
But completely different. Like it's the Doug Stanhope rule of like I'm only famous within a half a block from where I'm playing that night.
Right,
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
And
kind of a great level to be at, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's crazy when you see Taylor Swift walk out of a restaurant and it's like people are just leaving their cars in the street.
Yeah.
Oh,
Doors
yeah,
open
right, yeah.
just
I
to be
saw
like,
that.
hi.
It's wild.
Yeah,
It was a
that's
wedding
wild.
too. It was Jack Antonoff's wedding from Bleachers, the guy from Bleachers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you do if we were having, you know what I mean? We're celebrating our nuptials, you know what I mean? Holy matrimony, and then half of
Yeah.
our audience or like our friends and family just gets up and storms a celebrity.
I
know
would
what
understand it.
What's the level of celebrity that you guys would like stop everything that you're doing and just go and check?
Pretty low level. I'm a clout chaser.
Yeah.
Brooke from
Even
One
if
Tree
it
Hill?
was someone like who I didn't,
Santa Claus.
Yeah, even if it was someone who I didn't recognize at all, someone just told me that hey, like that guy was like in a movie
3
10
million
years
followers,
ago. I'd be
huh?
like, oh my god, I love your work.
Oh my god!
I follow you on Instagram. I just followed you on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's a rough one.
Pretty
You know what I
low.
mean? Not slipping.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good shit. It makes sense that you listen to like or like have a quite a diversity thing because you came over and you're like, we've met before. This is how long ago I was drinking. We had a couple of pops at the number 5 with Sean McLaughlin, who I very talented musician, crazy good guitar player.
Yeah.
I went to music school with him, like a jazz school. So I was like, all right, yeah, if you're hanging around jazzers who are now wine sommeliers, apparently.
I was actually briefly enrolled in the Cap Jazz program for bass, but
Okay, for Cap,
I
okay.
got out pretty quick. But yeah, I played in the jazz band all the way through high school and stuff, and
Yeah.
I like some jazz. I like
Yeah.
my jazz. I know my jazz. I have a rudimentary like knowledge of all the big players and stuff. So
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And like did you take bass like lessons and stuff like that as a
yeah,
kid?
I did. I took him from one guy just at like Tom Lee for a
Yeah.
couple years, and then when I was trying to get into Cap, I started taking bass lessons from this guy named Paul Rushka,
Paul Rushka's a fucking beast.
kind of a local jazz celebrity.
He's so rad.
Yeah, so
he
I took
kind
private
of looks like that
one-on-one
Oliver
with him.
Anthony guy, which is fucking funny.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. He looks like a rabbi, really.
He does actually look
He's
like
got a big rabbi
He's a
beard.
motherfucker jazz
talks
player.
like this, like, yeah, okay, yeah. So what do you want to learn?
Yeah, so that's those guys would play at Pat's like all the time in Tangent when I was running that
Yeah,
too.
there you go.
Oh man, Paul's he's a fucking man. That's
Yeah.
so rad.
So in high school, I took lessons from him for a bit on the upright. So
Nah, I was gonna say
sick.
yeah. He's a very good.
Was
upright
there
player.
any ideas of like rockabilly or anything like that? Did you like as a kid? Were you carrying around a stand-up bass, or was that at the place where you were taking lessons?
yeah, no, I had one at home.
That's
to
rad.
practice on, but I normally like the school had one that I would just use there. But yeah, like the whole time I was like, I'd rather just be playing electric, honestly. Like
Well,
it was
yeah.
cool to learn a new instrument, but I was like, this isn't my instrument. This isn't what I signed up to play. Like I kind
Totally.
of wanted to play the electric. But it was fun to learn, and it was cool to learn. And I even played in like the concert band, like the classical band, so I
bow?
learned how
Oh,
to
that's
do
sick.
it arco with the bow and stuff. So
That's cool.
That's hell yeah.
yeah. Now I haven't touched one of those things in a long time, but sometimes I'm at Long McQuaid and I see one sitting there, I'll just go like.
Yeah.
I'll just do a scale.
Hell yeah.
I just like still got it.
It's pretty damn cool. Man.
I'll
catch
see
that?
you in another year.
Yeah.
I gotta replace my strings.
Yeah.
I think like the bass is just like for whatever reason it's the easiest like member of the band to shit on. You know what I mean? It's just like always popular. But
It's
like,
very easy to shit
the-
on, but in reality,
well, yeah,
very
right.
important.
And I think like in punk rock especially, like there's so many absolute
Matt
shredders.
Freeman, baby.
Of course,
Yeah.
one of the,
Matt Freeman
the
all
greatest
day.
of all time. And like
Klaus Fluoride, I'm also big from Dead Kennedys.
Oh,
Amazing
absolutely.
bass player.
RKL, like Rich Kids on LSD, like some
Yep.
fantastic stuff there. Give it up for Fat Mike. I mean, like the guy can fucking do it, but like Suicidal Tendencies, you know what I mean? Like the list goes on and on of that. And like if you're getting into bass at a
Do I
young
have
age,
to give it up for Fat Mike?
you don't have to do it. You don't. But I'm saying that, like, you know, that there's parts of that decline there that look pretty difficult to me. I'm just a sideline guy.
I heard that song once the whole way through. My friend made me listen to it. I just sat there with my arms crossed, just shaking my head. I can't believe you're making me do this. Yeah, a bro effects I am not.
Am I? Oh, bro effects.
I'm not a bro effects.
Really? Okay, let's get into it. Let's break down. I mean, you might not.
Here we go.
No, okay,
We're gonna.
Okay, this
do
is what I always say. Like back when they were a formative band when I was getting into punk rock. I liked them a lot when I was 13, and I liked them a lot when I was 14, and then I turned 15. And just,
Did you ever hear it's on Howard Stern. Somebody played "Drugs Are Good" on Howard Stern.
Yeah.
And they took the clip of it, and it's on a different CD of theirs because, like, it's just not rocking. Like, no effects, no talent. It's don't. Like the beginning of that "Drugs Are Good" song.
yeah.
Which is awesome. But there's like, I think that there's like definitely a lot of things to like. It's cool to hear somebody that will openly say one of the most popular bands in the genre could go fuck themselves. I
Yeah.
guess,
Yeah.
which is cool. It's not my opinion, but you know what I mean. Liberating.
Oh,
Actually,
no,
up until
Liberating.
maybe
I never miss an
self-entitled.
opportunity to voice my opinion about it. And I think like I go to shows now and people are just like, oh, here he comes.
Yeah. Oh God. Get ready. Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy's got opinions.
Yeah. Thinks he's cool because he doesn't like NoFX. It's like, yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's fair.
Pretty cool.
We need to get you a no
Pretty cool. Your favorite band
effects.
sucks.
Well, because I think there's a lot of like obviously with their final tour, you know what I mean. There's a lot of like bittersweet like conversations that I've been having with guys like, oh man, you know they really had a good run in the sun and this and that, and you're just like about fucking time.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. They're still going?
Yeah. Well, like, and I'll be the first to admit, like, up until like self-entitled, where that would be like a 2010
Yeah.
release or some shit like that. It hasn't really been like the high energy, you know, like the pump up the volume, or like not even like, you know, So Long Thanks to the Shoes era, NOFX that we're getting. So I think if they're hanging it up, I'm fine with that because he's doing more interesting shit with like co-defendants and whatever.
Here's a few weeks ago I played that punk rock flea market, just an acoustic set.
Mm-hmm.
And I went on last and everyone was like clearing out. There's no one there, but I'm just like, well, I guess I'll make my $30 and just play some songs.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, no one's here. I'm going to play a NoFX song. And I covered
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's like if a
Looking
tree
around.
falls in the woods.
Yeah, exactly.
I covered Franco in America. And I was like, I'm going to tell everyone I did that. No one saw it. I'm never doing it again.
It's just like 30 years down the road, just the bartender that was working that night. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I saw him doing
I
no
remember
effects.
that day. Yeah.
I was changing kegs in the basement.
Yeah.
He thought nobody was there, but I was watching him the whole time.
Legend
Is
has
there
it-
any other popular band like where this is the
Do
most
you
punk
hate any
thing?
other popular?
Yeah, I love this.
Okay.
Yeah, the popular
I
bands
love
that you hate.
Rancid.
Hell yes.
Rancid. I'll defend Rancid all day.
Oh yeah, I got fucking
well,
tattoos
the-
on me out there.
The first 5 albums, at least.
Yeah,
The first
hell
5
yeah.
albums.
Yeah. Where do you stand on Honor Is All We Know?
Oh, it's not terrible. Telegraph. That's the one with Telegraph Avenue.
Yeah,
That song's a banger.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
That song's a banger.
Hell yeah.
I think I listened to it once and I was
Yeah.
like, I
Banger.
listened to it. Pretty good. Had a banger. And never went back. But you know.
Well, I mean, I just saw them at Punk Rock Bowling, and like as much as the new stuff that they do have, they definitely like know who they're playing to and stick
Yeah.
to the the catalog that you want to see.
Oh, here's one that's sad. I went to Bumbershoot last weekend.
Okay.
And yeah, you know, speaking of NoFX, like breaking up, there's just some bands where it works when they get older. You can just keep doing it. Like Billy
Oh,
Bragg. Like
yeah,
I saw
sure.
Jawbreaker. They're kind of getting older, and it was still fucking awesome.
How was it? It was a bunch of sad. Cause like I like me some Jawbreaker, but like the
Jawbreaker was rad.
Like later on, is it Sad Boy? Like, is it too like much of a bummer?
Yeah, they're still playing like, yeah. I mean, they closed with Accident Prone and
yeah,
stuff. That's
yeah, okay.
yeah. But yeah, no, it was still awesome, man. I was moshing. I was having a lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
But okay, I love Milo Goes to College. Great goddamn album.
Yeah,
But
ooh.
watching The Descendants, I was just like, this is just like, what are you doing? You guys are like 60 and you're singing songs about like, I don't know. It's just like this screams paycheck and nostalgia act.
Yeah.
And like, I was just like, this just, you know, sometimes when it works when they get older and sometimes it doesn't. Like,
Yeah.
it's like why Dolly Parton still rules and Madonna, you're kind of like, what are you doing?
Totally.
Yeah. Well, it's like when people, bands or just individual artists, they get older and they change their music to reflect where they are in their life versus someone like Madonna who's still trying to make music that's like hip for the young people, and it's just like uncomfortable.
Yeah. And
to
Descendants
watch.
are playing songs they wrote when they were 17.
Exactly.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just, yeah, and so that was a bit of a bummer because I love the Descendants, but I was just kind of like, and the same thing happened when I saw Fear a few months ago, and the guy looked like a goddamn geriatric man leaving.
So
and it's like
tough.
cool,
It's
I'm
like-
seeing Fear, but it's like
Yeah.
those aren't the original members other than the singer.
dude,
and the
I-
singer's
yeah.
just like,
Yeah, we
like
got a real
dude,
Smashing
big old
Pumpkins
white
situation
hair,
on our
you're
hands
like,
here.
yeah.
I have
Yeah.
the same kind of feeling with the Damned or Suicidal Tendencies,
Sure.
and you know what I mean. All of this stuff. There's like, not my favorite band, but I'll give it up to the Casualties because goddamn, you know what I mean. They're still doing that thing at that like, you know, at like the highest.
You know they're canceled, right?
Are they?
Oh yeah.
No, I had no idea.
Oh,
big
no.
time.
Really? They were
big
at Punk
time.
Rock
Oh,
Bowling,
no.
and
Why?
nobody
Well,
said
that's
nobody said a
why
word.
it's
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me
Oh,
about the
dude.
Casualties.
Oh
What
yeah,
happened?
Jorge, the singer or whatever.
Sure.
Oh,
boy.
big old
Oh,
track
no.
record of being a total.
Oh,
Oh.
no.
Well,
Oh,
shout out to
man.
the new Casualties guy. That's they got a new singer, and I didn't. Nobody told me why. He's the guy from the Crumb Bums with the big fucking red mohawk.
It's tough when you see, any, like you said, Jack, like any individual artist or band or do that because it doesn't work on the level of like we might like it, but people fucking buy those tickets. Like like especially like our age-ish group of like. We just the nostalgia factor is like, you can't help it.
Well,
we're
like
just
the
like,
prime-
well, I'll buy it. Like it's like this make me feel like when I was 15 again. I'll totally buy that shit.
Well, like men like fucking age like 34, like we're like the like prime target to market to or whatever. And now it's at this point that like the nostalgia that like we like they can just re-release like. You know, everything again every time there's like a new Nintendo or something like that. Like we are gonna like,
look at
line
my
up and
fucking
do that.
house, dude.
And I mean,
it's just full of shit that I had in the 90s and like, or wanted in the 90s.
yeah, exactly, right. So you can like you can package it up and kind of give it back to us, and that's why, you know, like Punk Rock Bowling or When We Were Young and like all these festivals are going off, and I mean they're huge. And they're bringing in, you know what I mean, probably a ton of money or whatever, and they also have like you know this. Opportunity for you to see like a lot of like, you know, bucket list bands. But when you do that, like do you want to hear Keith Morris lecture a crowd for a half an hour with the just play a circle jerk set?
So Dead and Driving just did a little weekend rip 2 weeks ago. We did Kelowna, Edmonton, Calgary.
Yeah.
And we were playing Edmonton, and the show was a bit of a dud. We were playing with some heavy hitter bands. We were playing with Trash Ambulance and Bar Ghoul, who has like members of Fire Next Time and stuff. So some heavy hitters.
Yeah.
But Off was playing in town that night, so just bad turnout. Everyone's being like, "Yeah, sorry, like Off's playing, so everyone's gonna be at that." I was like, "Everyone's going to Off? What the fuck?" So I was on stage.
Who listens to Off every day?
I was on stage, and I just started making fun. I was just like, "Yeah, you know, you can just go see." Well, I was like, "Yeah, everyone's at Off," and our bass player Dana just goes, "Yeah, fucking why? I have no idea." And I was like, "Well, you know, you want to go see Keith Morris? Just be like." Oh, we used to come up to Canada and play with SNFU and DOA and all the other ones, and now it's great to see that the scene is still alive. And I'm just like, thank you, everyone. If you want to hear more punk rock impressions, I also do Tim Armstrong and Jello Biafra. Come see me at the
please.
First Table.
We'll get into those in a minute. I think
So great.
one of those like moments I was going to see the Circle Jerks and very fucking excited, but it might have even been it was right at the time that Keith Morris was releasing his book. So like I Want to Rage, it's Friday night, I've been working all fucking
He's gonna
week,
read
you
a
know what
couple
I mean?
chapters.
Dude, he did like a fucking half an hour reading like in between the set. Like he completely stopped all the momentum.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And then when
rough.
everybody was like,
That's
dude,
weird
like
as
set the
fuck.
rickshaw, and you're like, everybody's like, play a fucking song, and he's telling us to shut the fuck up
That's
and just
so
continue to.
weird.
I remember him just
It
getting
was
mad at
wild.
Nardwuar for not like holding a record properly.
From the
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a weird kind of shift that I'm kind of seeing in like a like well, not necessarily a shift or whatever, but just like when like a punk kid turns into just like a grown adult.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And all they've done is just play music and like, you know, and live their dream or whatever, which is something that's like remarkable that you've had the opportunity to do that. You know, but when you like, I want to keep the, you know, like my childhood heroes as far away from me as possible at this age that I'm at now. US Bombs was my favorite band growing up. You know what I mean? And now, like, yeah. Now,
Cool
you know,
choice.
hell-
Cool choice.
I love them. You know what I mean?
You're the only person to ever say that word.
Probably, probably. But there's something about him. I love skateboarding, and there's like the raw energy in that dude's fucking
Go
voice.
45
fucking
what's the lyric?
MPH downhill on a skate. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I like his singing style. Yeah.
John Gotti is a fucking great track.
I will like you know, I'll carry the torch for that band.
Yeah.
But not that man. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
Because like there's this weird thing happening where like this attitude or whatever that everything is so liberal now. The new punk rock is conservatism, and it's just like the biggest like bullshit you know statement that I've.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
Shout
like
out Frank Graves.
yeah, exactly right. It is.
Oh, wait,
it is
Frank Graves?
happening.
Michael Graves.
Michael Graves.
Michael Graves.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I think you know, you can't take like a 19-year-old kid making art and then like you call them back 20 years later and put them on stage and like, you know, it's not. I don't know, right? Everybody's gonna do what they're gonna do, and I have no say in that. But it is kind of like when the child inside you is let down.
Yeah.
Can we talk anti-flag for a second?
I was gonna say we keep circling this
Well,
topic.
I just read that statement they put out in Rolling Stone today.
Oh my God,
the other 3 members of the band.
Can break it down for me.
Yeah.
They basically just condemn Justin. They say he's not who we thought he was. And there was one line that kind of resonated with me that said, like, we've learned that it's possible for a person to be kind in one space and a monster in another.
Oh wow.
Wow, that's fucking.
Because you know when you're maybe telling someone like they're not a good guy, they're like, "What are you talking about? They've been nothing but nice to me."
100%.
yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm awful
yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
You know, for whatever reason, you're trying to see like the good in
Yeah.
somebody or whatever. But for whatever reason, I put so much like behind that band. I was such a piece of shit when I was a kid, and then like you're finding like punk rock or whatever, right? In this whole, you know, in the early 2000s, they're like one of these.
They're such an altruistic band with
Yes.
like an idea. You know, it'd be like, I mean, a more modern version would be like if you turn out like Joe Talbot from Idols was like,
Yeah.
a creep.
Dude, that
Yeah.
would be
that would shatter my world.
100%.
That'd shatter my fucking world.
100%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm just, you know, I mean, I've dealt with loss in my day, but it just turns out that I'm not as equipped to, you know what I mean, deal with these things. And being an
Yeah.
emotional boy, I haven't thrown the shirt away, but it's just, it's there. You know what I mean? I just keep flipping past it. And like,
I still got my Annie Hall DVD. Like Woody Allen. It's not a punk rock, but Woody Allen was one that.
Oh, of course.
Like I was a big fan of his movies.
Yeah,
and I finally had to reckon with it, even though it was
100%.
public record for like the last
Oh,
30
totally.
years.
We love
Yeah.
Rosemary's Baby.
I just kinda like,
It was pretty well documented, actually.
I just kind of like, well, he never got convicted in court.
Yeah, that's not right.
Yeah.
I'm not
There
watching
is,
this
'cause
anymore.
there
Yeah,
is-
but yeah.
There is like the separating the art from the artist, which I think is possible to do in some cases. But like, first of all, when like the crimes are so extreme, but also when the art like so closely, like in the case of Anti-Flag, like is in such stark contradiction, you can't listen to it without being like, what the fuck? This is such
Yeah.
bullshit now. And with Woody Allen, all of his movies are about really old guys dating really young girls.
Yeah.
And you can't watch it now without being like,
He was
"Ugh."
trying to tell us.
Yeah.
It was all right
Someone
there.
just would have listened to him.
Yeah, yeah. There's just no
This
way.
all could have been
This-
avoided.
yeah, there's just no way that this guy would do that. I mean, it just doesn't track at all. Yeah.
It doesn't track at all.
I'm going to go back and
He's only made 7 feature-length films.
Yeah, where's 40 years old dating a 17-year-old?
Yeah.
It'd just be crazy if like you start to see like Easter eggs in everybody's work or whatever. You go back and watch like, you know, like a Bill Cosby special and it's all there. You go back and watch like the Louis series and he's just jerking off or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
a little on the nose, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When was the
What,
last
jerking off on the nose?
Yeah.
Well, if,
Just a little on the
Just
nose.
a little on the nose.
not my hair. I have a date tonight. Okay?
Just turning into
on the
Dr.
nose.
Evil.
On the nose.
That's how we drink it in Belgium. It's called the Belgium dip.
Belgian dip. Nice. Is that Austin Powers?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh my
Fuck yeah.
God.
Sick ref, bro.
This is a sick reference, bro.
But yeah, well, you were talking about meeting your heroes. I met, who we're here to talk about today.
Yes.
Yeah,
We'll get to it. No, that was a great time.
Titus Andronicus played at the Fox in March, and I went and the singer Patrick Stiggles is like just my hero. Whenever I'm writing songs, I always have him in the back of my head. And he was like after the show, he was out by the merch or just walking around saying hi. And
Yeah.
me and my wife are drunk. And my wife just goes up and starts talking to him, and then she like beckons me over, and I go up and just like, hi, and she's like, he.
Oh,
Loves
no.
you. Oh, no. Friggin' worships you. You are like his hero, man. You're his hero. And Pastor Sinner's like, well, that's nice. And I'm just like sitting there like, big fan.
It's true. You are my hero.
But we had a nice
Break
chat.
it.
It was nice. He wasn't full of himself or anything.
That's
It was
awesome.
great. Yeah.
That's awesome. This album struck a chord with me this morning with a hangover. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get into it. And I had no idea the band name is something completely from left field, right? Like this is completely new to me and I absolutely loved it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's a hard one.
Yeah.
It's one that I think like to get it requires repeated listens. It's a lot you're not going to
yes.
get the full
Totally,
thing in
totally.
one listen.
Yeah.
Because it is like kind of dense and immense and an hour long.
Definitely. Yeah, when not that many songs. I've famously on this show have been shitting on songs
As
that are
he
too
does.
long,
He does.
albums that are too long. And
He's
I
a
was
2-minute guy.
I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
growing up or if maybe I just like this band, but I was sitting here not having any problem with it. There's some spacey kind of like drug out sections of a lot of these songs. But I think that like what it comes down to is just like there's some lyrical density here that I think that's probably what I'm listening for.
Absolutely.
And you know that where did you kind of find this band, and where like because we've mentioned the Hold Steady before. I know we talked about that, and there's some similarities here. Definitely, obviously.
Did you hear Craig Finn on the album?
I heard him. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Every time I hear him featured on a song is. Do you ever listen to hip hop at all?
Absolutely.
Do you know POS from Rhymesayers Entertainment in the early 2000s?
I don't. Is Craig Finn on a song of theirs?
It's great.
No
It's called
way.
Safety and Speed. Yeah. And he opens up the the song with just kind of like a story like he's only walked out of one single movie in his life, and it was Predator, and you know what I mean. It had
OG
Carl
Predator?
Withers and two future governors, and he called it weak and unwatchable. And this whole thing, it's a fucking Hold Steady verse on a hip hop song, and it is great. It's kind of very slow between
That's
the kegs
awesome.
and this Maiden CD. I think this party's got about as much heavy metal as it's gonna need.
Okay.
And yeah. So I heard that verse before I knew who the Hold Steady was, and I've always been like, who the fuck is that guy? You know what I mean? Because it doesn't sound like a feature in like on like a hip hop record. Definitely coming from like a different
Baldy and 5 foot tall Minnesotan with glasses.
right. Yeah, kind of blew me away. But that definitely does make sense. POS and Rhymesayers Entertainment coming out of Minneapolis and all of that stuff. So
Okay, there you go.
yeah, definitely kind of full circle there. But yeah, so where did you get into this kind of stuff?
Well, I mean, I was a huge Hold Steady fan before this album came out. But you know, I still do, like at the end of the year, I'll always check out like the various publications, like year-end lists to see if there's any albums I want to check out and stuff. And I remember this one was like in the top 10 of Pitchfork's like top albums of the year. So I checked it out, and I just like first listen, I was just like, I fucking love this. It's like it's got like Replacements vibes, Springsteen vibes, and it also kind of like I was really into Neutral Milk Hotel at the time, and it's kind of got some Neutral Milk Hotel vibes.
Yeah.
So I was just like, this is like everything I kind of want right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just kind of obsessed over it, and of course it's just an album that I love because it defies the law of diminishing returns. Like I always find something new to hear or appreciate about it, and yeah, so to this day I just cite it as my favorite album of all time, and it's something that I always kind of have in the back of my head when I'm writing and stuff like that. Even though like the songs, if you want to know why my songs are long, it's because Titus Andronicus ruined my life.
I think they're like it's the coolest thing about doing this show and getting an opportunity to listen to stuff that I wouldn't like necessarily do, because maybe like even if I was like a kid like in a CD store or whatever and just flipping this one around and just looking at like, you know what I mean, like a 15-minute ending track is like, okay, like maybe that's a secret song or whatever, but like right in the middle we're talking like 2 9-minute songs and stuff like that, and I just
that's one of my favorite songs of all time, that last one, that 14-minute one, and that outro at the very fucking end, it's so epic, and it's got such a sense of finality, and you're just like, it feels like you just finished a movie, kind of like the whole thing just feels like this big
The whole
cohesive
album
piece.
feels very cinematic.
It does, it does.
I do have to say that on my first listen, the shortest song is probably my favorite.
The
second track.
Like the transition area.
I love it. I love it.
Captain Transition, as we established earlier. He loves it.
I don't
Guy
even count
loves the
those ones, but all right.
transition,
Right on. It's catchy. It's a little.
It's like he saw 50 minutes ago. Maybe
It's a
it's the
blue-
secret. Maybe it's the secret track.
Yeah.
Like his fucking Dookie.
I'm like, oh, okay, I've seen this before. We'll get 2 minutes and then wait for 8, and then we'll get something at the end.
Yeah, Nevermind does that, right? Something in the
Yeah.
way, and it's got just
That's right.
Yep. I think the last band that I've heard do it, or like in my CD collection or whatever, is the Flatliners on Destroy to Create. They have something at the very end of that as well, and I think that more
That was
people
very
should do it.
popular for a while. The secret
It
track.
was.
That's
Yeah,
like,
but you have to listen to
Yeah.
the CD.
It's
the
specific to
format.
CD. You can't
Yeah.
do it
Yeah.
on vinyl.
Totally.
You
Yeah,
just
that'd be
see it.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
just
It's
yeah.
right. There's nothing secret about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing I like about vinyls
secret.
is like you can just put it on like at a party and you let it play. You don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And then everyone be like, "Where's the music?" Oh, there.
Yeah, right. It's like a 2 minutes of silence. Be like, are you gonna put on a new record?
Yeah.
Wait.
I love listening to records, but I want to do that. We need a place that's comfortable enough because I have like a massive stack of 45s, and it just becomes a pain in the ass to listen to. It's just how many times you have to get up and flip it.
45s.
And, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To just keep going through. But I have like the coolest collection of 45s that I'm just like, why the fuck do I even?
What do you
have
got?
these?
What's your pride and joy in the 45?
That's a great question. I'm glad you asked. Probably Misfits Beware. There's that one. Speed Wobble is a cool band from San Francisco that are in the Jack skate crew, U.S. Bombs affiliated and stuff. So like I kind of got to meet those guys or whatever. So that was like a cool like part of my life one. The Rancid box set. So I have Rancid's whole catalog on 45s. That's
Did you just
pretty
get that
badass.
one buy?
Yeah, oh yeah, and it came with a baseball bat. Those Louisville Sluggers, Rancid Punks, and
alright.
51 out of 500. I'm a dork.
Not exactly a lightweight.
Yeah, no, definitely. 126 inches of NOFX is a solid one off their box sets as well. But like the individual ones, it's the singles collection, asshole. It's important. I also have
what else?
I also have their 12-inch box set as well. So bit of
Got
a
a
fan.
lot of box sets in our house.
Definitely. None more prized than the Bad Religion. Maybe the Coffin Box Misfit set, but either way, like I probably. The Misfits Beware, I think, would be the one. I thought that it was the original version, and it's not. So it actually has like Attitude, Hybrid Moments.
Those are like their two best songs.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Attitude's an overlooked one. I find
completely
that song's so good.
completely overlooked.
Yeah.
I think like
Hybrid Moments, everyone knows. It's like
it definitely has like that hit quality or whatever. But there's like that early, kind of like before the. I guess like before Walk Among Us or whatever, that whole kind of like string of hits they had like from like Cough Cool when they're just kind of like discovering like kind of who they were as the Misfits. I think like some of that is the strongest shit, for me anyway. You know, interesting question. Where do you fall into like into horror punk artsy kind of stuff? If you ever spiked your hair, put on some lipstick, like where's your deep scene kid phase? Or did it ever exist?
First day of high school.
Hell yeah, dude.
Had spiky hair and a NOFX shirt on.
Now we got
What
a
did they
yearbook
do to
pic.
you?
Whoa.
Do we have a yearbook pic of this?
Yeah.
I do have a photo. It's me and my three best friends at the time, and we're all like taking. I think my mom took it like first day of high school.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest kid in my family too, so.
Hell yeah.
I had my NOFX shirt on, and I remember walking by like the little smoke pit where all the older punks hung out.
Yeah.
And they were just like smoking cigarettes. They had like fucking spiky mohawks, and they're like, "Who are these fucking?" Oh.
Oh,
And I think my buddy had a Rancid hoodie on, so
Nice.
they were like, "Okay,
these kids are okay.
Yeah.
I like how they turned.
Y'all smoke weed?
Yeah.
No.
Posers.
We'll break you.
They did turn very classy there for a second. As soon as you guys walked by, they had a snifter of brandy. Who's this? Oh my, Rancid! I know.
Welcome to high school.
well.
So you want to be a punk, huh? This is going to be very hard for you. The jocks are going to hate you. The older punks hate you.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone hates you.
The older punks already hate you.
In their like Gatsby era. Like, whoa, hey, whoa.
I remember when I walked into high school, there was like one kid in a Bouncing Souls t-shirt, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm going to be okay. But I was wearing a Rancid t-shirt, and all my brother's older friends are like Pantera, Slayer, dickhead dudes, and they just like beat the shit out of me. Like as soon as I walked in with a group of my friends, and I was kind of the taller one, and I'm like, guys, we're going to be okay. High school is going to rule. We got this. And as I walked in within like 2 minutes, I was getting the shit kicked out of me, like a wedgie and this whole thing. And I was trying to fight like myself away from it. And then like my head like smashed on a locker. It was really shitty.
Good
And,
Lord.
Yeah.
You grew up in a 90s movie? What
I
the
did. Man. Trail, small town, British Columbia. It's like
He
it
grew up
sucked.
in dazed and confused.
You really did.
He was gonna go to a bush
They
party
had
real quick.
paddles.
Mitchy,
Oh,
Mitchy,
yeah.
Mitchy.
100. They did. They made him in the fucking wood shop. Guys, so then like not only that, like so that definitely sucked, but as I kind of like hit my head, they were like, "Whoa, that was a little too much" or whatever. Kind of like like shove me around and they walk away. Like, "We'll see you later, dude." Which sucked because I know these guys. Like, we were like smoking a joint like the other day or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's just my brother's old friends. But welcome to high school.
So it's just kind of like pounding you with love.
Exactly.
It
Well,
was with affection.
yeah. Later on, it was what it was. But I was pretty upset at the time. And I'm like holding the fucking like my head and checking to see if I'm leaking or not. And I was. And I was
No
like,
way.
"Motherfucker!" Oh yeah. And then the principal there, Mr. Hickey. I'll never fucking forget this. because
Unfortunate name
as
for a
a-
principal.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Hickey.
Dude, he had like his
Oh.
mustache waxed and stuff like that. He's a total dick. Anyway,
Ooh.
but I went like fuck because like I just hit my head and he just looks at me. He didn't see the ass kicking that I just took. He just goes, "Hey, Rancid." And I'm just looking at him, and he's like, "I got you." Kind of thing. So for
it
like,
really is tasting
Exactly.
Quit
Yeah.
bleeding
So
all over my school.
Just Mr. Rooney from fucking Ferris Bueller's Day
Yeah,
Off.
mop your brains off the floor and get to class.
Les yeux so fat.
I just like within 5 minutes, we were walking through the doors, and I was looking at my friends, being like, "Guys, we got this. Everything is gonna be okay." And then as I'm looking at them with like blood in my hand, being like, "I don't know if we're gonna be okay. 'Cause this is
So funny.
this is gonna be shitty." But
what a high school.
that was
Yeah,
it. I
right,
was
it
like, I just
really
wanted
is.
it. I wanted a tribe. I was like, when I get there, there's gonna be punks and everything is gonna be cool. And I got there was not, and we do
It's
not,
not
like your
cool.
hair.
We do not like your hair.
That was basically it. You know what I mean? But you know, like you live and you learn. So like that's as deep as the he got a little spiky hair. Because I mean, like,
Yeah, I
pushed a little
think
further.
after 8th grade, I cooled it down a bit. I still wear like the t-shirts and stuff.
Sure,
But I also started get like at first I was like punk rock, only punk rock. That's all I listened to, and then started branching out into other stuff. And be like,
Totally.
oh, other music's good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah, now I'm a big. My main philosophy is just more music equals more fun, and
Hell yeah.
never write an entire genre off because there's
Totally.
probably something there that you can, enjoy.
Oh,
I've been getting into Bjork lately. I've finally, I've been waiting for the day, and I
Yeah.
finally have come around to Bjork, and I've learned how to enjoy it.
You're in your
Next
Bjork
show, you just
era.
got a swan
I
dress
was
on.
gonna say,
That's gonna be my my
yeah.
scene kid came late. I started dressing like Bjork.
How long have you been staring at a Bjork album? Like, I'm gonna crack the code on you
Oh, I
one
remember
day.
getting like her first album, like on CD, like at Zulu, like, and I put it in the car, and I was like I don't hate it, but like it's hard. It's a patient testing kind of.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to get into like the textures and like kind of the ambiance of it. Kind of. It's more about
okay.
that. Than,
More of a vibe.
you're not gonna be humming any of those songs. Like
Yeah, not really catchy lyrics
No.
that are gonna get stuck in your head.
No.
I'm trying to think if I just know like as like a pop culture like reference like or like as a trivia dork or whatever like it just I couldn't name you a single Bjork song.
I bet if I put on the Bjork
Yeah,
song,
you probably know
you'd
it's
be like,
always so
Sure.
quiet.
Yeah.
I was
That's
gonna
a bit-
say,
If you've been to
yeah, she had a
karaoke,
couple, like,
you
big
know that
ones.
it's also quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really
Also
like
just
show
one of the
tune.
best music videos ever.
Great music
Spike,
video.
Spike Jones.
I've been missing out.
Yep.
Yeah,
A little
gotta
bit,
get
but
into
not like
Bjork.
crazy amount.
Yeah.
It's one of those, I don't know,
There's a
for me,
couple
and I
songs.
think, like, I don't know, you kind of mentioned, like, you're talking about it. It's, there's tons of bands that I'm like, this is really good. I don't listen to it, but
Yeah.
it's like, it's very good. I'm just not really my jam or
Well-
not. And as I've gotten older, that's obviously become
Yeah.
easier. Because when we
Yeah.
were younger, like, Johnny and I talk about this all the time, like, just how fucking, there's nothing else other than this. Like,
Oh,
this is
yeah.
all I'm listening
So
to.
Yeah.
rigid. If it isn't punk, it sucks. Like
Yeah.
it was,
Yeah.
like fucking missed out on so many good times just because like I didn't think it was like my scene or the thing that I was into or whatever. Right?
Yeah, well, music's a funny thing because it's kind of like becomes so much a part of your identity, kind of, and like you
Totally.
hedge your bets on it, and you feel like listening to something else would be a betrayal of this
Yeah.
identity you've made for yourself.
Totally.
Yeah.
But
For
it's
2 minutes to listen to
really,
another
that's a whole
fucking-
bunch of bullshit.
Totally.
Like because I always tell my like my friends, I'm just look at it like watching movies. If someone said they only watch one genre of movie, you'd be like, you're a fucking idiot, missing out on a bunch of
Yeah.
awesome movies.
No shit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
what? What do
That's
you
a
mean
really
you
good
only
way to
watch
say it.
horror? You only watch
Yeah.
comedy? That's
Yeah.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it's
Totally.
just
Yeah,
like
when they
just-
mash those two genres
It's the best.
specifically, they're
Yeah,
amazing.
Or-
now we're-
yeah.
Shaun of the Dead's a good time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just kind of like I mean, I guess get over yourself. Listen to more genres.
Yeah.
You're not betraying yourself.
No.
You're not less of
Yeah.
a punk if you listen to something.
Totally,
else.
and you're kind of letting yourself down, right?
You
You're
are.
doing yourself like a massive disservice if you
Absolutely.
are into art and like or anything like that, and not branching out, and especially like as an artist as well too. Like I'm sure there's like a million things you can take away from, you know, what I mean,
like,
everything else and learn.
Oh,
from.
songwriters, it's like, it's you're doing yourself a huge disservice if you're a songwriter and you only
Listen to
borrow
one
from,
genre.
like,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many ideas I've stolen from things like unlikely places. If just like a vocal melody or something like that, or
But like a closed door dork like me hears it and thinks this guy's a fucking genius. He's the
Yeah.
only guy that's ever done that.
Turns out she's been slamming that Bjork album all night.
Yeah.
yeah, the next Dead and Driving album's just gonna be a bunch of Bjork ripoffs, and no one's gonna know. Not even fucking gonna know.
It's gonna go right over my head. It's gonna be awesome.
Throw a couple power chords on there, and a couple
Yeah.
of whoa whoa whoas. and-
Oh, God, I hope there's a secret track.
I am a sucker for woes, and
Oh yeah.
we've
You must love the Lumineers.
another blind spot.
More of
Blind
a,
spot.
those more ho hey.
Oh.
Yeah.
I belong with you.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know.
that's oh yeah, we
You
listen
know,
to
you've
that.
been to a Safeway, right?
Yeah, sure. You're my sweetheart. I like that shit.
So funny.
I also do in the past like 3 times that I've been to Save on Foods. They're always.
Let's get into it. I love a fucking good
Oh.
banger in the fucking
They're
grocery store, dude.
I'm all about that, or it's all about that bass.
Oh
no
yeah,
trouble.
that Megan.
I'm
Trainor,
bringing
all
booty
the-
back.
Dude, Caribbean Queen
that
came on the other day in Bilo, and I was just like, I just had the cereal. I like Caribbean Queen.
I was at,
Oh, man, it was so good.
I was at No Frills and Breakfast at Tiffany's. Came
Oh,
on.
man, yeah.
Oh, man,
Wow.
my wife's just like, will you stop it?
I hate because I'll be like,
said, what about Breakfast at Tiffany's?
there'll be like nobody in the aisle or at that, and I'm fucking going at her. I'm fucking singing away, and then you turn that sharp corner, that blind spot.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's just some little Filipino woman looking at me, being like, "Oh my God, he knows all the words."
Do you go harder or do you stop immediately? Because there's that moment where you get caught singing in the car or whatever, where it's like you have a choice there.
I turn
Oh,
into
you
someone
do.
who like forgets the lyrics. I'm like,
I keep singing, but I put the fake microphone down.
I put the box of spaghetti down. Just using it as a microphone.
It's just screaming into a handful of bucatini.
The plastic packet.
Yeah. Fucking rules.
Yeah, whenever fucking I'm in a grocery store, and it's always if it's gonna be chili peppers, it's always Can't Stop, and I
Yeah.
turn into like Flea
Yeah.
in the Live and Flame Castle, like in the fucking skull. Like,
I was gonna say Jackie puts a sock around her dick and starts going crazy.
close to it.
It's my favorite move she does. Not only that, actually, she just got back from like it's spooky season, right? And we that's kind of like our anniversary. It's our thing. Our home decor is just like Halloween decorations and
Okay.
stuff. We love that kind of shit. And she comes home with the same skeleton suit. That
Oh yeah,
he's
I have a
fucking
skeleton
wearing.
suit.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
nice.
Oh yeah.
They had that for the Build-A-Bears, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have skeleton suits for Build-A-Bears?
Yeah.
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 That's pretty cool.
Y'all into Build-A-Bears?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Got a couple.
Never had the pleasure to.
Dude, it's pretty dope. It's pretty
Oh,
dope.
man, you
It's
gotta-
pretty
you
dope.
gotta
It's
get
good
into
time.
it.
Yeah, if your wife is into it, like that's just I went in on my own for a gift for
Jeez,
Jackie.
I'm gonna go home like. Probably should have asked you this before I married you. You into Build-A-Bear?
or just teddy bears in general.
It's like
I
I
swear,
never
if you
asked.
just build her a
That's what I
bear,
thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Oh,
buy-
I want a
build.
divorce.
Yeah.
I got her an owl from Harry Potter. Hedwig
not
McStuffins.
an owl. It's Hedwig.
No, sorry. My apologies. My apologies.
Fucking owl. You what?
We're gonna figure it out, guys. This is going off the rails. Matt, tell us what's in the future for Buyers Remorse, Dead and Driving. What do you have? What do you have coming up?
Buyers Remorse, we're playing at Redgate on September 20th. That's a Wednesday. It's
Oh,
our first
yeah.
headlining gig. We're playing with Little Sparky. That's a local, kind of a post-punky band.
Cool.
And 2 bands from Winnipeg. One's called Locator, one's called Ceilings. They're
Sick.
both awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's Wednesday night. You can
Hell
get
yeah.
tickets in advance. Save
I'm-
yourself $5 on earlyonsetrecords.com.
Let's go.
Nice.
And
I stop work on the 15th. I will be there in full force.
Yeah, that's a
I
week
will come
before
actually.
the show we're doing at
Hey,
Redgate.
yes. Oh, dude, you got to come to our going away party too on
Yeah,
the 27th.
on the 27th at Redgate.
You
September
gonna be
27th?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
why not? I'll be there.
Why
Hell
not?
yeah.
Hell yeah. And anything as far as like recordings or releases?
Well, yeah, hopefully we'll be doing a full length with Buyers Remorse. I guess I didn't mention I run a record label with my wife and the 2 guys from Anthems and Jamie Lee, who's a local punk supporter.
That's you over there?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, cool. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I know Jamie Lee. She's fucking dope.
Yeah.
She's
So we
like-
all do Early Onset Records.
Oh, that's
Sick.
so fucking rad. It's
yeah.
crazy. I've said this to a billion guests now, but it's like the amount. It was very fucked up when I was running Pat's Pub. And so like the people that have been coming in, I'm like, oh yeah, like all these. But I was like, always like we had G-Tone on like last week or whatever. So like it's so great, kind of getting to rekindle some of these things. So I hear names like that, I'm like, oh yeah, because Jamie Lee's like the fucking nicest person ever.
Absolutely.
She's so rad.
Absolutely. But yeah, it's kind of a record label that's based on a membership model. So it's $100 membership, and with that $100 membership, you get every album we release on vinyl that year. But that $100 helps fund the pressing of it. So
That's fucking awesome.
and it's
Awesome.
we're licensed as a non-for-profit, so we don't pocket anything. Everything just goes back to serve the bands.
That's
Nice.
Dude, I'm
fucking
gonna give you
rad.
$100 right now. I didn't even know that was happening. Wait, is this a good year to do it? How many releases?
You
do
get-
you guys
We could use that $100. We're moving pretty soon.
You can sign up on earlyonsetrecords.com.
got? Hell yeah, do
You
it.
go become a patron of the arts.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, and then for Dead End Drive-In, we're playing Kelowna on October 6th, opening for 10 Foot Pole.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, and then we got another. Our drummer's leaving pretty soon. Our drummer of 10 years
Oh.
is moving to Calgary, so he's going to be playing his final show at Redgate on October 21st. I don't think that lineup's hammered down. I haven't booked it or anything.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Cyrus is the brains behind that
There
one.
you
Oh,
go.
oh, yeah. He's the
Okay,
brains
yeah,
behind
he's
our
the
going
brains
away
behind
party.
our-
too.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Hell yeah,
Go
Punks
to.
United.
Yeah, so-
Give him a follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that's that. And then it's gonna be a big we're kind of in the works of doing a EOR kind of Cool Records joint show. But that's still in the works.
Okay.
Ooh,
Cool.
I like
But that's
the I
coming
like
up.
the rumblings.
That's gonna be
of
coming
that.
up in the yeah, we're joining forces for an epic show, and
Hell yeah.
that'll be
Hell yeah.
sometime around the holidays.
Fuck yeah.
Sweet.
Well,
Love
I
it.
will be back in town and around that thing. We're going to put links to all of this wonderful stuff below. And, dude, thanks so much for coming.
Yeah,
Hey, thanks so
This
much
is
for having me. A
awesome.
lot of
Appreciate
fun.
it.
Dude, well,
Yeah,
now that
this
we
is
know
awesome.
that I fucking have a million small independent record label questions, too. Shit. Well,
Yeah.
we're going to get you back.
Yeah.
We're going to get you back and get
Sounds
further
good.
deeper into it. Dude, thanks again. Thanks so much for coming.
Absolutely, thank you.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Peace.
Peace.